Hey, what's up everybody, it's Bryan here with another tutorial. In this one, I'm going to show you how to use your wiggle expression much more effectively in 5 minutes or less. Let's get started. Alright guys, so here we are in After Effects. I already have a project already set up, as you guys can see. You guys just saw this in the timeline. I have a couple of pre-comps. Most of my wiggle expressions nested in this pre-comp right here. But let's go ahead and start from scratch, and I'll show you guys to add anticipation using the wiggle expression. To get started, I'm going to create a new composition. We're going to call this tutorial wiggle, make it 10 seconds, and let's hit OK. I'm going to create a new background, solid. We're going to call this, I did yellow, a little bit golden, like that. Create a new shape layer. In this shape layer, I'm going to add an ellipse. I'm also going to add fill. And on the fill, I'm going to color it black. We could simply just put a wiggle expression into my ellipse position, like so. And we have wiggle. But the one thing that we want is we want this to act like it's growing in anticipation and then it shoots off the screen. So let's go ahead and get started with that. I am going to create a new layer, a null object. On the null object, I'm going to add a slider control. We're going to rename this slider control amplitude ball. If you remember, the first number is amplitude, the amount of times that it happens, and the second number is magnitude, how much it happens. So to fix this, what I want to do is I actually want to get rid of 35. Don't worry about it, this expression is going to break. But let's go and drop down the spinners here. Let's come to the 12 frame mark, which is about halfway to 1 second. And I want to set a key on my slider. And then I'm going to go all the way to 2 seconds, and I want to set a key of 35. That's what we had before. Okay. I also want to come in here and I want to ease these out so it's not very rough. And we can come into the graph editor and play with that. Now, if we come down to the expression editor, we click on the expression. I'm going to put my cursor where our empty amplitude is, and I'm just going to use the pick whip, and I'm going to drag it to the slider. And now what's going to happen is the ball is going to ramp up, and it's just going to keep wiggling. But now we want the ball to take off on the 2 second mark. To do that, we're going to create another null object. On this null object, we're going to come down here, we're going to open up the position tool, and I'm going to separate dimension. On the shape layer, instead of using the ellipse path position, I'm actually going to use the position on the transform and separate those dimensions as well. We only want to move in the x-axis. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and hold down my alt and hit the stopwatch, and I'm going to pick whip to the x of this null. Now on this null, I'm going to set a keyframe for 2 seconds, and then about halfway through, I'm just going to have it fly off the screen. It's a little too slow, so let's speed it up. There we go. Let's add some motion blur so this looks a little bit more natural. And there we go. We have a ball that gets excited and takes off. However, it's not perfect. If you come in here and you watch closely, the ball is still wiggling as it goes off, and we don't necessarily want the wiggle to happen. So to fix that, we have to push our wiggle expression. We have to push our wiggle expression even further than we had before. Let's come over here. Let's go to the contents position where we have our expression, and I'm going to add parameters around this wiggle expression. There's 2 things I want to fix to. If you notice, before the 0.5 second mark, we have an issue where the position exists already, and we actually want it to be 0, 0. To do this, I'm going to copy all of this. I'm going to copy it. We're going to open up Notepad, and I'm just going to paste it right there, and I'm going to delete it. Hold the stopwatch down, and now here we go. We're going to type in an if-then expression. So we're going to do if time is less than 0.25. And then we're going to do 2 vertical line keys. It's shift and your backwards dash. And then type in time is greater than 2. And then I'm going to use a curly bracket open. And I'm going to use my square brackets as well. We're going to type in 0, 0. This stands for both variables here on the position axis. And then I'm going to close that with a curly bracket. And then I'm going to type in else, curly bracket, and then I'm going to paste that wiggle. Close that bracket, semicolon, let's click, let's see if the expression is good. It is. You'll notice it's now 0, 0, wiggles, and takes off. Hopefully this is inspiration to you guys. This is a 5-minute tutorial, and I hope to release more of these. So be sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you like what you saw, and I'll see you in the next video.
I can't stop time for you. have time for you. I've played my part for nothing.